ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on this week's episode, we'll be talking about the movie 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. But of course, before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by I forgot names again.
Of course
Jimmy.
You did.
I'm joined today by Jimmy and Jimmy.
Gotcha.
Jimmy Nathaniel Gingrich.
Oh man. Hey folks. I'm not gonna be Jimmy. I'm gonna be Nathaniel. This is what I think I'm I understand and am refusing. I'm drawing my line in the sand early in this one.
At Satanism? Is that
it's not the Satanism, it is who the Jimmy is based off of originally as well.
Oh, the real Jimmy.
Yeah.
Is that worse than Satanism?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. I would have to say so.
Both are bad.
As I understand Satanism in its true form, yes, I think the pedophiles, as the Brits might say, are worse. I'm gonna say
worse.
Controversial, folks.
All right. I don't know enough about the person he's based off of, but I have heard.
Do some research
about
him
being kind of a pedophile of some kind.
Oh, it's not kind of. He definitely is.
Got it.
It's a genius bit of I do want to talk about it more, so we'll talk about it in a bit. But that being said,
okay, good to know. Also joining us today is big Jimmy BlakeHolder.
Okay. Yeah. What's going on? I guess we both can't deny it, right? So
I was full transparency here. I was gonna say Big Bone Blake, and then I paused. I was like,
yeah,
we should
that
temper
might be
the
big
names
Jimmy
here really quick. Yeah. The big Jimmy, I think.
Hey,
actually, that doesn't sound that doesn't sound that much better. Big Samson Blake. I get Big Alpha Blake. I don't know.
See, that's a year.
I don't know. Move on.
This movie's really just littered.
You know what? It's my fault for
bad analogies all throughout.
Yeah, it's my fault for not coming up with these names.
Big Iron Maiden Blake.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, hello Blake. How's it going?
Yeah, man. I'm it's all good, fellas. I'm actually I'm eager to chat about this one, guys.
You happy? Are you happy to be home? I feel like you're gone.
Am.
You were like out of town for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude. We spent some time in Florida where Haley's mother lives, I would say.
Yeah.
We did that, and then so we were there for a while, and Haley and I both work remote, so that can kind of just get elongated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. So we drove. It's a drive.
Oh, that's right. You had to drive.
Yeah.
Too, right.
Yeah, because we drove. So we got right Twix,
man.
as you guys know.
Sure.
Right Twix.
So we drove with right Twix.
What's your driving distraction like? Are you guys podcasting at this point? Are you guys listening to music?
For that drive,
I
dude.
Spy?
So yeah, it's a lot. We do stop though. So we going down. We stop in Atlanta. Coming back up, we stop in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So just over halfway each time.
Sure.
Right, going down just over halfway. Come back just over halfway. So it's about 9 or 10, however you want to do it, and then another like 9 or 10 the next day. Long story short, though, to answer your question, yeah, I mean, a lot of podcasts, a lot of it is just us just like yapping back and forth.
Sure.
There are awkward times where it's just like you just don't speak for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, that happens.
You just let the silence rock out. Like
every road trip I've ever been on has those little bits of silence. They're essential.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. We did that, play a few games. We were playing a game where you had to essentially, I guess you can just call it 21 questions, right? It's,
sure.
somebody thinks of something, and you have to figure it out what it is within 21 questions. Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing?
Yep.
Can you fit it in your hand? Can you buy it? Do you own one? Have we seen one today? Right? We're doing a bunch of that. We did a game of trying to count how many Toyota RAV4s we can find. Right? It's like we did that. Because that's the car we were driving down in her car.
And how many did you find?
On the way down there, and it's hard to actually keep count like permanently. You know what I mean? Because it's over 2 days. But we got to like 119.
You need
oh my God. Wow. All right.
You need a dry erase on the window. Like
almost. You almost do. Yeah. So we did that. That was fun. So yeah, man, just a lot of shit. Music, podcasts, yapping, playing games, talking, silence. She does audiobooks, so sometimes if she's driving, we usually leave it up to whoever's driving. You kind of get autonomy of what you want to do.
I think that's how it should go. I think
Absolutely.
that's how it should go. Unless there's something else agreed upon ahead of time. I think that's the default rule.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, happy birthday as well too.
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot to mention that part. Yeah, this or maybe wait, do we just let Blake pick next week's episode and just move up his birthday pick? I didn't even see that as an option.
Yeah, whatever works for you guys. We could do that. But yeah, I appreciate the birthday wishes. Pardon me, I just had a lisp on that. I do have this guy here. Does anyone know what this is?
Hey, wait.
It looks like a capybara, if I'm not mistaken.
My boy is correct. It is a capybara.
Nice.
And driving up, Haley took me to a capybara cafe. Stopped.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's like awesome. Somewhere near St. Petersburg, Florida, or whatever. So you went in, and it was not like an actual cafe where you can like eat and stuff. But like where like capybars were gathered. It's more a cafe for the capybaras. So you can go there, and they're essentially ambassadors, right? They can't be released back to the wild, and they're being rehabilitated. But yeah, so I got to meet some capybaras, man, some cappies. You got to pet them.
That's awesome.
They kind of feel like how a broom would feel.
I was just saying they look like bristly. Yeah, they don't really have fur.
I would say a broom. It's not like a dog or anything. Like you touch it, it's like a broomstick or like the brushes of a broom, right? Very docile. Awesome. One of the greatest animal experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
The game of the month at Barnes & Noble is currently Cafe Barras, which is about a capybara cafe. So
I like that.
Some synergy there.
Yeah. There it is.
Cool.
There it is.
That's awesome.
And last thing I do want to point out here, not to hijack it. So yesterday was my birthday, as you guys know, which was my birthday. I did find out yesterday, January 21st is National Squirrel Appreciation Day. And you guys know I like squirrels. So I think
how could I have forgot?
I just found that out yesterday that it was Squirrel Appreciation Day, and I was like, I can't believe I'd never pieces together as a child.
I'm happy that's on your.
It was cool, man. Very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I encourage you guys to figure out what national holiday it is on your birthday. It may be something that's actually deeply rooted and connected to you, or it may be, I don't know, Jimmy's holiday, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy's holiday.
Then you hate to read it.
Jimmy holiday.
My holiday is Free Slurpee Day.
Hey,
that's 7-11.
Could be a lot worse.
Oh yeah. I can't even think of that. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Do you take advantage of that? Does anyone still take advantage of that? I haven't done that in years.
I have only a handful of times, honestly, in my life. Where like that's not usually at the top of my list on my birthday, but I have a couple times.
Sure. I haven't done that probably since I was a kid, dude.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Everyone benefits from it being my birthday, so I'll take it.
Oh man, some would say you're the greatest, right? That's your gift to the world, right?
You
provide free Slurpees to everybody.
100%.
And
Nathaniel, what do we know what yours is?
I don't. I'm not sure what mine would be.
Okay,
but we can. Who knows? We'll find out. It'll come back in a year.
Yeah, we'll think. We gotta remember this.
Allegedly, yeah, we'll see.
If we make
if we get that far.
If the Earth makes it that far, yeah. All right. Anyway, speaking of the world ending, let's get into our review segment. We're going to be talking about, of course, 28 years later, Bone Temple. Nathaniel, if listener here is new or maybe they've just forgotten, can you give them a rundown of how our review segment works?
Certainly, Adam. Hello, folks. We are doing a review. The way the review segment works here on Back Row Banter is it is split into two sections. There is the non-spoiler section, and then there's the spoiler section. It's pretty self-explanatory. In the non-spoiler section, we'll discover and discuss who wrote it, directed it, who's in it, everything on the IMDb page, including the IMDb summary, that is. We'll go around the squadron tonight, a triumvirate. We are missing Tyler, and he's fine. Don't worry about it. He's totally fine.
We didn't even mention that part. Wow.
Yep, he's totally
got
fine.
So lost in the capybaras.
But yeah, we'll go around, we'll discuss it, see how we feel about it, see if we would recommend it. It's got to be a yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. And then it's going to be spoiler time. Any big spoiler points or plot points in the movie we'll have after that. Warning. We'll have a little spoiler noise for you. It's also going to be marked in the show notes so you can know when the spoilers are happening. So if you don't have anything spoiled for you, you and everyone else can listen to where we rank it up on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything we've watched on the podcast ranked. With that being said, Adam, talk to me about 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
I would love to. New movie, of course. What is this rated? I'm assuming R. Yeah, rated R. Runtime of 1 hour and 49 minutes and an IMDb rating of 7.8 out of 10. It is directed by Mr. Nia DaCosta.
That is a Mrs.
And I apologize. It is Mrs. Nia DaCosta. Or Mrs.
I'm going to
go with Miss.
Yeah,
that's
Miss.
The polite.
You're right.
That's the polite way to go about
it. You know what?
I already fucked up once, so I'm going to go with Miss.
I checked you. You checked me.
Miss.
Miss.
All right. So Miss Nia DaCosta. I apologize. And written by Mr. Right, Alex Garland. Yeah. Okay. The cast includes Jack O'Connell, Alfie Williams, Connor Nawal, Aaron Kellyman, Mara Bird, Ghazi Al-Rafai. I'm going to go with Rafai. Robert Rhodes, Emma Laird.
Ralph Fiennes.
What do you say? Ralph Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Down the list. Ray Fiennes, Ralph Fiennes, whatever you want to say. He's further down the list, but yes, he's here as well. And then I'm gonna go with Shy Lewis Perry. Is it Shy or Chai?
Yeah.
Anyone know?
Don't know. Could be Kai.
I don't either. Could be Kai. Cobra Kai could be Kai. But he's here as well. I think that's going to be our main cast that I'm going to mention here. The IMDb summary reads as follows. As Spike is inducted into Jimmy Crystal's gang on the mainland, Dr. Kelson makes a discovery that can alter the world. Interesting.
Indeed.
Cool. So, well,
it's 28 years later, man.
Yeah, it's 28 years later. The Bone Temple, sequel to 28 Years, which came out less than a year ago, which I'm all for, by the way. If we're gonna do, a two-parter like this, please have them. Please have them at least
8 months separated.
8 months is I mean, this was a great amount of time, honestly. I think 12 months and under, if you can pull that off, by all means, go for it. Because this was like awesome turnaround. Where like I didn't even fully rewatch the last movie. I watched like a short recap just to refresh, but like I didn't even feel like I need to rewatch it fully. So was happy with that turnaround on the timeline there. But yeah, it's a sequel to that one, which are the first two of a 28 years trilogy of sorts, which is a trilogy that is the kind of third sequence of films, I guess I should say, of two movies that came out in the early 2000s.
This is correct.
Yeah. So yeah, now you're caught up. Hopefully that's not too hard to follow. If you've been following the podcast, you have listened to hopefully our other reviews of 28. Well, yes. No, we never got 28 years fully on the podcast. 28 weeks and 28 days later are both on the podcast, so you can go check those out if you are curious about them. But yeah, man, here we are. 28 years later, the Bone Temple. How we feeling?
Who wants to start it?
I'm tempted to go to Nathaniel just because Nathaniel, we're out of the year 2025 now.
We are.
Is 28 years later the first one from last year? Did that end up being your movie of the year for 2025?
I think it is.
Is that where we finished?
Yeah, it is. I think it is. I rewatched it prior to this this viewing, and I think it was just a little bit because I didn't like. I heard that they were doing a 28 years sequel. You know, I had certain expectations for that, and like the first trailer came out, and I was just like that kind of whole experience. I think for me was such kind of a throwback in some ways, where like the trailer came out, I felt like it was this perfect encapsulation of what the movie was going to be, but it didn't necessarily give away a bunch of shit. And then the movie came out, and it was so different to what I was expecting, but then I ended up being so emotionally affected by it that like even then, just at the end of the year, I was kind of like reflecting on it, and I had a little bit of time off recently. I think we might have talked about it last week, but I was rewatching a lot of the movies from last year that I really enjoyed. So I got to Superman, I got to Weapons. Obviously, we just saw Avatar as well too. But yeah, 28 years I think is definitely my movie of the year for last year. Yeah, I really did enjoy it on another level. I feel like it was I feel like it was strange. It was a weird exploration of what the 28 series can be outside of kind of like the first first iterations. And it's Danny Boyle still proving he has the juice in a lot of ways, in my opinion. So yeah, I was very hyped coming into this because even then I felt like I was a little bit in the minority. Like I feel like I feel like a lot of people really liked the 28 years later that they saw. I feel like some people were kind of like a little bit let down, but I felt like this, partly by it coming out so quickly afterwards, anyone who was like a little let down, I feel like there's been a lot of people that have been like, no, go and see this one. This is the one you're kind of expecting anyways. And I think it does kind of live up to that in some ways. But for me, who adored the first one, I think this is a nice expansion that I am still processing. And I'll be interested to see how it holds up on a second run. And I'll be very interested to see what happens in the third one as well, too. There's one thing I think that they could have changed or done a little differently that would have put this into immediately like that same level as the last one for me. I'll talk a little bit more about that, I think, when I get into spoilers. But yeah, I'm very positive on this movie for sure. I don't think I love it as much as 28 years original flavor, though.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Adam?
I'm on the reverse of that. Where like I am positive on 28 years. Like, did really enjoy it. It did surprise me in a lot of cool ways. To like your point, Nathaniel, but I wasn't like that close to being my movie of the year. I think it ended up being in either my top 10 or top 15 of 2025. So like I definitely really enjoyed that movie. But I mean, walking out of the theater on this one, my jaw was on the floor. I mean, I just was not expecting to be impacted the way I was, or for a horror movie to explore the range of emotions I went through in an hour and 50 minutes. I mean, I laughed, I almost cried, I was scared, I had to look away from the screen because of the body horror. I mean, just everything is a total gauntlet of emotions that this movie runs you through, and the way it connects you to the characters. And obviously there's a little bit of I'm not going to call it cheating, but you have some emotional attachment to the characters heading into it already because of the first one, or at least some of the characters. So there is that, but like just the further exploration of them. You spend more time with Ralph Fiennes' character, and his pal Samson, and obviously the Jimmies, who like are teased in the first one, and you're kind of like left on a cliffhanger with it a little bit. So, man, I mean, I love this movie. Like the fact that this is the first new movie of 2026 that I've seen, like I'm already predicting this to be one of the best years of movies that we've had in a long, long time, with like just the slate and just the number of directors that are like storied and well-regarded directors that are coming out with movies this year. And the fact that this kicks it off is concerning for me, because I don't know how I'm going to be able to like sort out how I enjoy these other movies when like this is what starts us off. But I mean, I had such a good time in this one. I think it's shot really well. Like it's a beautiful movie throughout. The soundtrack's awesome. I mean, I could just keep going on and on. And I'm really excited to talk about it in spoilers, but man, this blew me out of the water. Like I just really didn't expect the story to go the way it did, and for Alex Garland to kind of take the script in the direction he did. Just it was awesome. I gave this 5 stars on Letterboxd, and I didn't give a single film in 2025 5 stars. I don't think. We're all like up to 4.5s, but like I do think I've enjoyed this movie more than anything I watched last year. Like this, it was just awesome, dude. I'm very high on this movie. I'm going to sing its praises as much as I can. Yeah, I highly recommend people go see this. I don't know how many people will, given the this being the 4th of a zombie apocalypse franchise and stuff. I'm hoping people will give it a chance. I don't know what the box office numbers have looked like, but yeah, please go.
They're not the greatest.
If you can.
But yeah, to jump in there on your box office comment. Yeah, I figured this thing is bombing. Unfortunately, at the box office,
sucks, man.
It's bombing.
But Blake, where are you
at? Yeah, I like this movie a lot, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
Like a lot. So yeah. I have a lot of positive things to say about this movie. All things considered, yeah, it is bombing at the box office. Unfortunately, it's a January release. I don't think it really had the years upon build up that 28 years later had. No pun intended. And it kind of just flew under the radar with Avatar. Right before it, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, this thing is doing like it's horrendous at the box office. It's doing really bad. So I hope they can kind of come around to that, and kind of it can grow legs and get word of mouth. That being said, go ahead, brother.
Sorry to cut you off, but I want to like point out on a rewatch too, the way 28 years later looks and is shot is just like, man, it's the kind of stuff where you're like, God, just let Danny Boyle do whatever the fuck he wants for as long as he can, man. Yeah. Where you're just like, it's the same thing as James Cameron, where you're just like, these dudes, these are the, and I mean, Nia DaCosta as well too. At this point, like if she's gonna be at
she's
this
got
level,
a quietly good slate together at this point.
Yeah, I think it's. I do want to talk about that a little bit, because we've done a couple of her movies for the pod now at this point, right? At least we did Candyman.
Yeah.
And
so and that makes me even more embarrassed that I just automatically assumed when I read her name. So again, I apologize.
Okay, bro.
No worries, brother. But yeah, so I'll jump in on that. Yeah, I outside of the box office stuff, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Just jumping into it, I mean, probably I like it more than 28 years.
Okay.
I like it more than 28 weeks. I don't know if I like it more than days, but like,
okay,
I gotta let it digest for some time before I can make a comment of saying I like it more than days. But I do like it more than years and weeks by a good margin. You guys know I went in blind, so didn't really know what we were going to see. I was under the assumption that it was taking place immediately after 28 years as we meet the Jimmies with Spike at the end, right? So kind of knew that much, and it was going to follow that story, and how the third film, or 28 years later, is a 3-part film itself. So I knew that. Didn't know the turnaround was like 8 months.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that was another pleasant surprise when like December came around. I was like, holy shit, this movie comes out next month. But yeah, in short, awesome. Shot awesome. It provides more lore to the infection in the rage virus that people have been dying for. The Jack O'Connell is fucking amazing.
Incredible.
I love Jack O'Connell. I like him more in this than Sinners.
I agreed.
Yeah, so he is very powerful performance that I genuinely like. My boy the doctor, what is it? Is it Ralph? I'm sorry, I'm blanking out of his name.
Ralph Fiennes.
Thank you, Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
He's excellent in this movie as well.
I gotta say, Dr. Kelson's like he's in my top 5 like favorite cinema characters. I think in history at this point.
He's up there for sure.
Like, dude,
he's in the horror genre.
Like,
right?
yeah,
one
man.
of the greatest characters we have in the horror genre.
He's just the fucking best. Like it's like him, Gandalf. Like Mace Windu, like he's in that tier at this point. He's absolutely one of the best in my opinion. Can't say that enough.
I totally agree, man. His performance in this is very captivating, and it provides a very humanistic approach, and how he's just a doctor through and through here to spread positivity and reform and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Aaron Kellerman is awesome as well. Yeah, dude, it's a lot. It's hard to kind of chat about without jumping into spoilers. It didn't really go the way I thought it would go. The Jimmies aren't who I thought they would be. I mean, I knew it would be kind of dark. Didn't know it'd be that dark. I like Spike. I just have a lot I want to share. It's hard to talk about without getting into spoilers.
I'd be down to get into spoilers because they're
very much like this movie.
This is a movie that I think we need to go full deep dive into.
This is
so I'd like to spend as much time in spoilers as we can.
I'm very interested. I'm trying to think of comparisons for people that like maybe aren't, and like I don't know who would be picking up this podcast and listening to this for like a recommendation who hasn't seen any of the 28 series or like 28 Days Later, but like it's hard for me to describe how like good this series is at this point, and like it feels like it's not really commented on very much at this point. Like
this is the best horror series in the history of cinema.
Like
ice hitting. Yeah, I mean,
I don't even think it's up for debate anymore, to be honest with you guys.
Like it's like just the like to one not revolutionize, but like reinterpret and remix zombies like they do with 28 Days, and then to be like here, 20 years later, pulling out stuff like this just to play in this world again. It's just like, man, we're lucky. Never kill yourself, guys. There's good movies coming out.
Don't kill yourself, at least until the third one comes out.
There's more.
Which I've heard they haven't even shot yet, which breaks my heart.
Yeah. You're probably going to be about 2 years out.
But you know what?
But if it's anything, it's Danny Boyle can shoot it for like.
It gets made at this point.
I know Danny Boyle. He can make it for like $30,000 if he wants to. Like I trust that dude to make it.
He'll shoot it on an actual iPhone without the big lenses.
Yeah,
he just will shoot it on an iPhone,
and it'll look amazing for some reason.
Yeah. Was this one also shot on iPhone?
No, I don't think so. I think that's very.
It doesn't. I don't think
it's very distinctly not very quickly. I think. I think that's a definite choice.
I wanted to make
and
sure.
And there's some really good shots in this as well.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's polar opposites of how they portray certain characters versus other characters, and wide exposures and things of that nature. But please let's jump into spoilers, man, because I got a lot of shit
Tyler has not seen the movie, so we don't have a pre-spoiler or a review for him. We are going to get him to talk about it at some point because he is planning on watching the movie. So stay tuned on his thoughts. But we're going to go ahead and head into spoilers. So if you've not seen 28 years later, Bone Temple, and do not want it spoiled for you. Go ahead, check the episode description where we've left a timestamp you can jump to, where you'll be taken to the ranking of the movie. Hop upon our HB list.
Hop upon. Shit goes down. Let me play a noise here. How about an air horn? All right. Spoiler time, boys. Lots to spoil, actually. The rage virus can be treated. One.
I love it.
Yeah, super fascinating evolution to kind of everything that we've gotten, and like kind of what we thought with the 28 universe as well too. I'll have to say, like, man, I'm so burned out on zombies, and like, you know, Walking Dead kind of really killed that and like drove it to the ground for me, especially the whole like, who's worse, humans or the undead kind of thing.
Yeah,
but the Jimmies,
for sure. Yeah,
the Jimmies need to be put down. Like, the Jimmies are truly like, oh, you're Satanists and you're not playing about it, kind of thing. You're just like, we're going to hurt people horribly, and you've been locked into this weird 8-year-old persona. But you've seen unspeakable things at this point as well, too.
Yeah, and the Jimmies, right, and Jack O'Connell, and that is very damning in itself when you like look into
not
even just what that actually, where they actually pulled it for, but like his actual character development and kind of his ideology and how he gets there. There's so many layers to this shit, dude, and it's excellent. The performance from Jack O'Connell is phenomenal, dude. I love Jack O'Connell. I like him in this more than Remick and Sinners, and he is quietly becoming one of my favorite actors.
I told you, man, he has been one of my boys for years. Like, I've been waiting for him to break big. He is so good in everything.
For sure.
I mean, we have Scream Queens. Is he a Scream King at this point? Do you get that?
He's
like, that moniker.
He's got to be, for sure. And can even hit some funny comedic undertones.
Oh, dude, he's just
like,
good.
Some very funny
dude.
In here too.
He's borderline hilarious in this movie. I mean, his character to be such a dark character, and you watch him explore the Satanism, and then I'm also laughing at him, and like, it's just such a fucking
the initial
incredible
meeting between Jimmy Crystal and Dr. Kelson is just some pitch perfect drama, like cinema, where you're seeing Dr. Kelson figure this dude out in like 3 minutes, basically. Like, he just nails his psychology so fast. And then you're also seeing Jimmy, who's like obviously not in any way as educated as Dr. Kelson, but has the cunning of like a survivor who's been able to survive in this world for this long at this point, and immediately like figuring out how he can use that as well too. And like, it's just there's some beautiful acting in a horror movie where you're just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And beautiful writing too. Just their dialogue, their back and forth. And it's like, you're an atheist, or you're a Satanist, I'm an atheist. I guess we got it all figured out. It's so good.
For sure. That's so funny. Good. And then even right where he's asking, he's like, "Are you Old Dick?" Right? And then and then he's like, "Well, he's known to be a trickster, so I'm gonna ask you again," or whatever he says, which is like funny as well. He's like, "That's something Old Dick would say," or I think Jack O'Connell says that. It's very funny, dude, when they have like lines like that.
Yeah, it's that's where I feel that's where I feel the strengths of this movie are, where like I came out of it, I feel like I was going into it having been set up so much with Spike's story from 28 years later.
Sure.
That like when it diverges and it becomes this other kind of thing where you leave Spike for great periods of the movie, and really you get Dr. Kelson and then and Samson, but then like you even almost get the you have the like family that is eventually like victimized, but then you also have the later on the Cillian
Murphy, actually.
Then you also have you have the Cillian Murphy characters later. This is this movie is working so much to expand our our knowledge of the universe and our kind of like setting within the world that like that at the end of it I was like, okay, I now see what they were going for. And like where I think for me 28 years later is always going to hit on that personal level of the child growing up having to break away from like what his parents are saying is the way to do it, and then confronting their death and like what that means for him and how that stuff and like the metaphorical and themes of 28 years later I find so just
more
like
compelling, or
not even like compelling, like I find it like it's like myth making, like it is like these are like fairy tales type storytelling, like this is the stuff that you pass on generationally, where there's like this I feel like is this like much different kind of expanding of that universe of in that kind of like next level, where like I feel like 28 years later is The Hobbit, this is Lord of the Rings. Like that's kind of like where I'm coming at it from in some ways, but like and that's not a bad thing. Like I feel like my appreciation of this movie is different, but I think the big large storytelling of 28 years later, that feels to me like it's like Danny Boyle kind of like I'm working my masterpiece kind of thing, and like this feels much more like Nia DaCosta being like I am working my vision in some ways as well too, and she's not quite like in that same realm. Again, not in any way that this is a bad movie or that you shouldn't enjoy in that same way. I think for me personally, I just the 28 years affected me in that way a little bit more, which we might talk more about like next week. But it's kind of hard to talk this movie and not talk that in some ways.
Yeah. So I mean, I think to hone in on your point of like how this movie provides such an expansion into the universe, right? So to kind of hit the points on this. So upon watching this, we as the viewer now understand that there is a physical component to the rage virus and a mental component to the rage virus.
Yeah.
And the doctor has now found out through a cocktail, right? What's he call it? A medicinal cocktail.
Yeah.
Right. That I think the major variable is like morphine, right? Is that there is a way to remove the mental aspect of the rage virus while the physical traits are still there.
Which seems to be that you are seeing other people, but with your face on them as well, too. Like that was what I got from kind of Samson's experience, is that like it forces you to like hallucinate other people as weird demonic versions of you. And so you attack it. And like you seem to be in pain most of the time and angry because you're in pain kind of thing as well too.
Correct.
Yeah, it's fascinating kind of like evolutions to that side of things as well too.
Phenomenal. So we that's one aspect that we've learned, right? The next aspect we've learned is that while one is infected, you can still bond with them through like communication and nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
And while they're still fully infected with the rage before this clarity moment really even takes over, right?
Right.
Because
by sedating them, you're able to kind of get some sort of communication through. Kind of thing.
Correct. And they can speak. We have an infected speak for the first time.
Right.
So like we learned that. We learned that Jim and Cillian Murphy's character is still alive.
Well,
right.
And that like
I'm still alive. We know that
you can be you can, going back to Samson, you can be treated by the virus and then not be affected if more infected like attack you later.
Yeah,
like,
you're still a carrier in essence. You still have the virus, right? Yeah. But you have your mental clarity.
Right. You're kind of like, inoculated kind of thing. And he got the juice as well, obviously, because he can still like rip people in half. You still have
the physical traits of the virus where you can rip shit. And I agree. Yep. And run fast.
I mean, that scene where he wakes up from the train, on the train, and wakes up from his like kind of like flashback almost.
The same train that the infected who we think is his partner, or the one that he's at least
had the baby.
Yeah,
yes.
it also is in that train too. So I'm wondering if that will come back again in
the third one.
If they might have been like a couple previous to this or something like that as well.
I didn't even think about that. And then the third movie is Samson going to that village to try to find his baby or something.
Yeah. Could be. But yeah, that's
but when he wakes up from his
learning lore. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when he wakes up from his flashback and the other zombies are like, they recognize that he has woken up from his clarity, or he's gotten clarity from his rage, and they start attacking him. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, to hit that's a great point, Adam, and to hit the bullet points of like the lore expanding. So that's one piece of it. The next piece of it is that we understand that Jim is still alive.
Yes.
From Jim, the Cillian Murphy's character from 28 Days Later.
Appears to have a
now
daughter.
Has a child, who you would have to assume is with Selena, who was the female lead in 28 Days Later. They now have a child, and they live somewhere in the countryside. So like, that's very fascinating. We don't know where Selena is. We don't know if she's alive and just not there. We don't know if she's scavenging. We don't know if she's dead. It's been 28 years. A lot of things can happen. But that's like expanding on the lore, and they meet Spike and Kelly, who now has a new name, right? Because she's left the Jimmy's 4 fingers or 7 fingers, whatever, 5 fingers that create the fist. We learned that. We learned how the rage virus alpha-induced actually eat. And they rip spines out, and they actually eat the brains. So we've never seen that before.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was him becoming more intelligent, like that. Like he would target the brains because he realized that was something that like powered him because he's an alpha, or if they're always trying to do that as well too.
Yeah, I don't know. We've never. Yeah, I don't know. We've never seen it before. We've never seen the regular infected do that. Right? They seem to just spread.
Right.
And yeah, so like that was wildly fascinating. And then the next thing we learn is maybe it's not as wide as lore building, because it doesn't build upon the 3 other previous movies. It only builds upon 1 movie, and that is the Jimmy Crystal character in Jack O'Connell.
All right, so we got to talk the Jimmys.
He is a Satanist.
Yes.
yeah, and he's a Satanist because from his perspective, when he was a kid, right, his father left him in the church, and there's an upside down cross how he sees it, and his father basically takes on the infected in pride, saying that it's a sacrifice.
Yeah,
and
they're his children.
A bunch of other shit. So he's, as a kid, takes it the complete opposite way.
Yep.
Right, which you can see how he takes it that way, and he runs off making his own shit. And they're fucking gruesome, man. They are gruesome. Some of the most disgusting people we've seen in horror in a very long time.
Yeah, the skinning scene will stick with me. I didn't think we were going to that level, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I think I gotta applaud the movie for starting off in a way where you're immediate, like the stakes are immediate. The kind of like tone of the movie is set there. I think Nia DaCosta has a really dark sense of humor. To be honest with you, dude, and kind of like how she kind of sets themselves, and like just from Candyman to this as well too. Like I just think she's got a really like death and how it is juxtaposed for comedy in this is just like also very interesting and compellingly handled.
I think the best example I have of that, where like that really hit me in this movie, was when Spike and I forgot the character's name. I guess
is it one of the Jimmys?
Yeah, Aaron Kellyman. When they're standing outside the barn, and she's I guess screaming's kind of normal. But that doesn't sound like
that's too much screaming.
And then they stand up, and it cuts to the barn door flying open, and everything is on fire. I died laughing, dude. Just and it's the editing of it too. It's just the cut, and I forgot what line she says exactly before it, but she's like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound right," and it's cut, and it's like barn door flies open, 3 people are on fire, everything's burning. Hilarious. It's just so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. And they set that up so well too, because you even have the introduction of the Jimmies with the family, right? And you kind of like know they're like off kilter a little bit because you have the Spike introduction of like you have to kill one of them to get into the clan. And they're sitting there. Then Jack O'Connell, forgot what his exact quote is. They were like, "Well, like, what do you guys want from us?" Right? He's like, "Well, it's simple." He's like, "We're gonna kill you all first."
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're gonna kill all of you, right? And one of you are gonna have a chance to live, or whatever the fuck he says, right? And you're just like, "Ooh." And then they kind of set it up that way.
So,
and the skinning, taking their shirts off was crazy, and like that was brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really know what it meant, and then you see them like cut on the chest and start pulling. I'm like, oh, they're gonna pull.
Yeah, as soon as you said shirts, I was like, it's going full martyrs. It's going full martyrs. We're here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. There was a point where I was like, ooh, that's pretty gruesome. I said that out loud.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was the like skinning and pulling and then throwing the bits like on the floor. Where I was like, this feels like some Terrifier shit, or like you're getting to this level. My one thing and my one criticism, and I think where like if they had done this would have moved this movie into a 10 out of 10, one of my favorite movies of the year, no doubt about it, was I think while the opening is effective in establishing the tone, and I'm not even sure if I would put this ahead of it, like, or if you would use it as a flashback, but 28 years kind of ends with this idea that Spike is now out from his upbringing in that thumb, and he's like experiencing the world, and he comes across the Jimmies, and they dispatch these zombies, or some of the infected, with aplomb and like with style that he has not seen before. And I wish he had a little bit of time like with him where he was like, whoa, these guys are crazy. It's like they've got a really cool way of living, and like that's wild. And then it's like, but there's only 6 of us in the Jimmies, so you got to figure it out kind of thing, and have that little bit of the turn in there too. That I think would have just sealed it a little bit more, because now it kind of reads like, okay, meet new characters. Oh shit, they're immediately bad. Why would he ever like want to be even a part of
like
this
why even
kind
stay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that was my only kind of thing there.
I think that's valid.
Like I feel like it would have been a little bit of thing, wouldn't have taken much time, but I think it really would have sold that a little bit more. Again, I think the way that it starts now is still such a gut punch and such a tone setter, especially with like the way he's being toyed with, and then you realize like he hits that guy, and you as the audience, you're like kind of like, oh yeah, stab in the leg, and then he pulls it out, and you're like, oh no, and you as an audience member almost get it just a half second before everyone else in the scene, and that's such a smart editing play where you're just like, oh, he's gonna die, and this is gonna be bad, and
it's so brutal to watch too. Because do
you feel like that's how it would really happen? Like you feel like that if you
maybe not quite as fast, but like very similar, and just oh man, it's brutal to watch. Like it's like 2 minutes straight of that guy just begging for help and bleeding out, and it's hard to watch. At least it was for me. I mean, you guys know how I am with the body horror stuff a little bit, but like that, this movie it's interesting to like. You know, the zombie movies have a lot of horror that is jump scares. That is, we've talked about the horror of the humans in zombie movies and stuff like that.
For sure.
And there's obviously gore involved in zombie movies, but I feel like the body horror in this one was elevated between that scene and the skinning scene. Like it definitely leans into that kind of body horror type of stuff more than others.
I've never been afraid that I'm going to turn into a zombie, right? Because in my mind, it's like I'm dead. There is no consciousness left. Like at a certain point, like once there, what my body does after that, whatever. I'm not personally freaked out by that. But the idea that I'm sick with something and I'm compelled, and there's some sort of like consciousness left, and maybe now it's been 20 years that I'm just out there in the world trying to survive on this stuff. I feel like that adds a level of horror to the kind of thing. And especially now where we're like, okay, well, technically everyone you're killing of these people is just, it's doubling down on some of the...
There's still a human in there.
Yeah. They're kind of doubling down on some of the thoughts that like Kelson kind of introduces in 28 years, where they are all humans. They're just sick with something,
They're just sick.
Yeah. Yep. Now it's like, no, it really is that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's very interesting. I think that's interesting to like play in with like the world at large, because we like don't talk about it, but like again, in essence, the UK is... the rest of the world's fine. The UK is just isolated at this point.
Yeah.
So like the fact that, it's been 20 years and like there is a cure for this, but no one's tried as well too. Like that says something about the kind of like world at large as well. Yeah, just again, kind of what I was saying, going back to like this one just expands and kind of evolves the world so much in kind of like ways that I don't think we've really ever seen the series do at all.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Jack O'Connell's character, Jimmy Crystal? How do you guys feel about his motivation and his kind of damning story of, or I guess Adam, if you want to jump on that, is like, how do you feel about that, of him taking his father's sacrifice and how that's essentially the rapture, right? That's going to end the world, but he sees it as his father was Satan, and that's why all the infected came to him, right? Opposed to the other end of the spectrum of religion, and he basically takes that and runs with it. Like, how do you feel about that setup?
I think it's interesting, and I think this plays. I kind of want to wait almost for Nathaniel to come back. He's gotten up from his chair, because it plays into. Oh, here he comes. Let me just wait. Pause for Nathaniel putting on his headphones.
We were talking about Jack O'Connell, correct?
Yeah. So Blake's question was, how do we feel about the kind of origins of his character being that he saw his dad get, kind of attacked and assumed
his whole
that
family.
His dad was his whole family, sure, but the impetus of his dad being attacked by all the infected, showing him that his dad was actually Satan, basically, and inspiring him to become a Satanist, that kind of thing. In terms of plot, very interesting. And like just not the direction, like when you see the cold open of 28 years, not the direction I think that cold open leads me to believe that it's going to take me down. And even when you see his character and the Jimmys at the end of the first one, like, also don't assume that those people are Satanists off the top of my after first seeing them. So it's interesting that they go that route and kind of take that turn with it. And I think it goes into like what this movie, for me, like where it hits the best is in the writing and in Alex Garland, and the ending of this movie, which we haven't really talked about, and the Cillian Murphy scene, for me, changes just the whole movie. I'm not going to say the whole franchise, because I think that'd be a little bit kind of course correction, but like especially this movie and the way that Alex Garland frames, the very pointed kind of monologue about the fascism and stuff spreading through Europe, and how after World War II, it was kind of like, hey, you got to kind of almost quarantine off the infection that is fascism, and kind of making the analogy that it is a disease, it can spread. And, the other stuff that blends into with the infection of the movie and whatnot. And so I think that plays, like when you tie that in with the religious themes in this of, the Satanism, but also kind of the blind religious following of the Jimmys, who are all very young and impressionable and really don't know any better. They've been born into this world. And you kind of look at, religion in terms of, there are people that are just kind of born into segments of religions that are almost cult-like, or their whole world around them just is about that religion or that following or belief or whatever it is, and you don't know any better, and so you just kind of go along with it because you don't know any other way, and that being somewhat of a tie into fascism and how those two things kind of play together, I think is an incredible commentary and just a turn that I wasn't expecting, and a point that I didn't think Danny, like, it came out of nowhere for me, and then that put so many pieces into place for me, for the whole movie. And there's a line that Dr. Kelson gives, when trying to give his treatment to Samson, where he's like, I believe that you are full of, or you're seeing delusions of things that aren't really there. And then when you kind of put that in perspective of like that, the fascism angle of it all, and it's like, man, like, I think that's such an interesting way to look at it. And then you look at like the events of things happening today, and the echo chamber people can get themselves in and whatnot. And it's like the fears that people play on to, the fears of fascist leaders, and they play on the fears of people, and their followers, and try to, kind of conjure up things for them to see, in terms of today, if you're looking at it as like online media showing, you say Trump, for example, showing is talking all about these illegal aliens that are millions of criminals and all these people coming in, they're raping people and all this other stuff. And it's like, I have yet to see many examples of that in my real life, but there are a lot of people who would just take that at its word and think that's actually happening. And those are the delusions that fascist leaders can kind of get people to believe in, that turn them on each other, and then turning that analogy of like a zombie infection, and how that can spread, and how the infection of the rage virus, gives you delusions that turn you on your own race, like that kind of thing. That is really what elevated this movie for me. And it came in the last 5 minutes, obviously. And just I've been reflecting on it for days now, to your point, to your original question, Blake, of like the Jimmies and the Satanism and the belief, and the blind belief, and then the, almost like the transfer of power that Jimmy Crystal gives to Dr.
Kelson.
Dr. Was it Kelson? And how, like, by putting on this performance and setting this whole charade up, he inadvertently transferred all of that belief into Dr. Kelson, and kind of gave him some of his power. And it's like, that's such an interesting dynamic too. And an interesting,
well, just that,
and
like Kelson as the sane man, right? The man of science, the man of rationality, as well, too. Like, and kind of taming this religious believers as well, too, and like battling against them. There's so many thematic moments going on within there,
right. And the internal turmoil you see in Dr. Kelson, when he's like, and these are your commandments, and one of them, I think the first one is, you're going to continue to go out and spread the charity of Saint Nick or whatever, and continue to like basically pillage people and kill them and stuff. And it's like, he's, and like,
you can see he doesn't want to say that,
right? He absolutely does not. Obviously, we know the character, like, that's the last thing he'd want.
But he's a realist. He's afraid too. Like, he also
is. He's a realist. He's afraid. He knows what's right and what's wrong in the situation, but he can't help but follow what he is. His back is against the wall, and despite his incredible morality as a character, like, he's kind of forced into the situation, and you see the tough decision he has to make.
That's one character where I felt like I might have missed something at some point, but I never really understood why the Erin Kellyman character was looking out for Spike as much, like why she didn't buy into the Jimmy Crystalness as much as well too. Like, it just felt like she was a little bit more underdeveloped compared to everyone else in that side of things. And like, I like going into the third one, I'm not sure Spike is in any way safe with her. Like, I feel like there's still gonna be something coming on, like later on there. Like, she's still got a upside down cross carved into her head.
Yeah,
and was like was believing that Dr. Kelson was old Nick, like up to that point. Like, she might not have been that way on Jimmy Crystal as much by the end, but like, she was still on board for that. So like, that's an interesting plot line that I feel like, I trust them at this point to resolve later on, but at this point, having seen this movie, I have some questions about, kind of thing.
for sure.
Yeah, I think how I would look into that, dude, is like I kind of had that same question too, and I think she's absolutely a Satanist through and through. But I think that goes to show, paint the picture that, like, and I guess I'm going to use this like gently, right? But like, she may not be as bad as a person as we think she is, despite her being a Satanist. Right. So, for example, right, because she seems to be the only person to see through the complete bullshit that like Jimmy Crystal's putting on, right? Where she said, "Oh, well, like I thought I saw old Nick, right? He's got red skin, he's got a bunch of bones around him. He's a bone temple, XYZ, and he was even dancing with the infected, right?" And then she's watching him observe, and then that's like the very comedic bit, right? And then she's like, "Do you think it's old Nick?" And then he's like, Like takes it down, puts it back up, and he's like, "Shit, that's got to be him." It was like kind of funny thing.
Yeah, I hadn't realized he built a castle up here. He must not have told me.
Yeah. But you can see she's the only person buying in. It's like, well, I think this guy's lying. Like the last time he said it, he said that they were in the Highlands. That was like 100 miles away from here. So like, how would he know that? And like, you can see her kind of talking to Spike a little bit about that. So I think she's a Satanist through and through, but doesn't think he's the actual right messenger.
Okay.
Right. So she's willing to be like, like, I don't know. I think he's lying to us. Like, I don't think he actually has met Satan. I don't think Satan is actually his father.
And like the other thing that I find so interesting is the freezing of the world in the 2004-ish kind of thing of it, where
yeah.
So like even I think today where like if you went up to the average American in 2026 and you're like, are you a Satanist? Or like, do you know what the Satanists are? They're not necessarily going to think of like a cult that sacrifices people. Like most people know that that's just like, dudes that like kind of like to piss off Catholics or something like that at this point. They're not really a thing. Yeah. So it's this weird... Like the Jimmys, they have that weird thing where like they've been paused in time. They've been traumatized because of the way that the rest of the world has like died around them. And now they've created this weird like pseudo religion from kind of like what it's like very kind of Mad Max in that way, where you're like, you get these like this outsized strange amalgamation of what used to be and like might have some of the same words but like is definitely different from what we are experiencing, to which point like kind of brings me to the thing of the Jimmy and the Jimmy Savile of it all, which is just such an insane choice, like once you know the context behind everything. And like I think it's kind of genius in that like they've somehow created bad guys that no one will ever want to cosplay because you're like in essence cosplaying as a pedophile. Like they've created bad guys that can't be like, they can't do what the internet loves to do, which is celebrate the bad guys kind of thing, because in some ways you are celebrating a pedophile. And I think that's such
I know, but I'm sorry, finish your thought.
No, like it's like, to put it in context for Americans, it would be like if Mr. Rogers was revealed to be a pedophile. Like this is like exactly. This is what it is like to them. Like this was a dude that went around to children's hospitals and was like, and his like show was Jim'll Fix It. So he was like a Make-A-Wish dude from like the 80s that would go around in these tracksuits, had the long blonde hair as well too, that he was clearly dying, and then like would go into terminally ill children and be like, what is your dream kind of thing, and like make that happen. And like the how's that was like one of his phrases kind of thing. So like when
I didn't know that.
When Jimmy, the things kick off in 2004 or whatever, Jimmy's still that person kind of thing to these people.
Child icon.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. And then like it was now revealed in like 2016 that he was just basically abusing the children the entire time kind of thing. So it's such a it's such a wild choice that I feel like it is crazy. And is I'm staggered by it every time.
But that's the like, for a lack of words, it's very dark. But like that's the cinematic masterpiece in it all.
It's smart writing. Like
of that. Like because the Jimmy Crystal character, Jack O'Connell's character, like doesn't know in real time in 28 Days Later universe, doesn't know who the real Jimmy Seville is. Right. But so he's like, hey, I just want to take on this persona of somebody who's a fucking child icon of mine because when the world went to shit, I would watch Teletubbies and watch this guy. And this guy made everything better.
Attract children that were in that same period to him, like kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like to have them also be that evil for a completely different thing, as well too, is just so it's so cool. Not cool's not the right word, but like it's so
exactly. I didn't want to say it's beautiful, but like like it's wild, man. And then that's the cool. You see the Aaron Kellyman character, Jimmy, was it Jimmy Inc? I don't know what they.
Yeah, she's
it was
Jimmy,
hard to remember.
She's Jimmy Inc. Because the two girls were Jimmy Inc. and Jemima,
and Jemima or something like that.
Jemima.
But yeah, you could see immediately like she was the one, like despite being like arguably, I don't know, maybe the true Satanist of that group. Who really knows, right? But the one that has the most moral compass of like and had her own understanding of like, okay, well, like this is crazy, and what we're doing, like like we do kind of feel bad for him, like this is kind of what we do, and no one else even really had that like morality to him. Where she's able to comfort Spike to be like, okay, like, I don't know. And you can see she kind of looks out for him a little bit. And it's like she's very, very interesting character. Very interesting character. The only person who could see through the bullshit of Jack O'Connell, because everybody else was like completely blind following him through and through. Right. Not even second guessing him. And like she would be like, I don't think this guy has even met Satan before. Like,
also,
why are we following him?
If I was up there on the hook, having just had my shirt removed, and I'm,
who do you pick?
The pain I assume is at levels heretofore unmentioned and unimaginable in my brain, to the point that I am hoping I'm approaching some sort of pain ecstasy in the martyr like world or whatever, and then I see my other buddy flamethrowing the other ones to death with the propane tank. I am kind of like, well, if this is how I go, this is probably like
at least my guy. At least my boys fighting for us.
I do love the cuts to. There's like two cuts to the person who is still like half conscious, and it's like,
fuck, man.
At least she gets to watch. Yeah. I mean, of course, not the best situation to be in, but like, it does bring you as a viewer some peace knowing like, all right, at least that's like her final sight is watching her killers be burned alive. So
I got handed to this movie as well too, where like when Jimmy or whatever is like, I'm taking the trousers, I was like, fuck, man, like I fully believe this movie's gonna show that to me at this point.
That's the one where that's the one that really hit me, right? Like I was like, ooh, this is gruesome when they're taking the shirts off, but then she was like, I'm gonna take his trousers. That's when I was like, oh man, like, that
and then obviously it throws
don't fucking do that.
It throws the hook at you as well too, so you get out of it, but you're just like, whoo, man, like that. I like for a movie to pull that move, and for me to not just be like, they're not gonna show it, like for my horror meta movie
like,
game, to not like kick in, like I was fully sold. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna see this. I'm like mentally gearing up for that. Like,
I agree. But then also you can kind of see, and fun fact, that gentleman is actually Andy Serkis' child. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I didn't know that.
I did not.
Famous mocap guy. That's his
friend
child,
of the pod, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, for sure. But you totally understand his rationale, right? When Jimmy Crystal's kind of giving him, it's like, okay, like
I thought for sure
you have an opportunity to join, like pick which one you want to fight.
I thought for sure he was going to pick Jimmy. Like the answer out of that was to pick Jimmy Crystal, and then he was going to get like jacked up in that one kind of thing. But
like I don't know. It's like I didn't know where he would go. I was like, well, I don't think they're going to do Spike because Spike's not in there.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're kind of contemplating like, oh, who does he do? And then like once he picks the girl, I was like, that's got to be the wrong option.
No, yeah, of course.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's just my gut. Is like, yeah, because like if this is how they get down, you'd have to imagine she's been the person selected multiple times. She's the smallest person there.
Right? Just that, like, bro, she's alive. It's
teenage girl.
It's 28 years later, and she's alive, man. And she looks younger than 30. Yeah. Like,
for sure, she's ruthless. You know what I mean? And she even said, and she was like, "Yeah, like you picked me because you thought I was the weakest, and I thought it was an easy fight." She's like, "You should have picked whoever it was, Jimmy, whatever." He's like, "He just probably would have stabbed you." He's like, "But instead, he's like, I'm gonna take your pants off." I was like, "Oh my god!" But then we get a good hook to the head.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, which we never saw what happened to that character. She like Sparta kicked Spike and then dipped.
Set her up. It does seem like we were gonna see her again.
Yeah.
No, she still has the hook in her head.
No. The character that threw the hook.
The one who escaped. The girl who threw the hook.
Oh, I definitely think she comes about in the next movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
My hunch is she comes about in the next movie. She's gonna see Spike and Kelly, formerly Jimmy Inc., right? And recognize them and being like, I can't trust these people. They're fucking terrible. Right? I think that's the layer on that. Is going to be my guess.
Yeah.
And you knew she wasn't going to help Spike. Like you tried,
but fair for her.
Spike was like, just please take me with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? Fair for her for sure.
Yeah. You can't do that. You can't.
Why would you trust?
I feel you know what I mean. Like watching the movie, you're kind of like, I hope she takes him. I fuck with Spike. He's my boy. You know what I mean? But like, she just can't. You got to fucking filleted her entire family, bro. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Spike. I can't take you. So kudos to her. And she was pregnant doing all that too. So
true.
Huge shout out to her. Pregnant women getting their due. But yeah, dude, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie a lot. There's so many layers to talk about it. And
I too.
The Jimmy Crystal character that has multiple layers, Satanism, actually Jimmy Seville, the infection being potentially treatable, if not like temporarily treatable.
Yeah. I too want to do.
It's so good.
I too want to do drugs and listen to Duran Duran with Dr. Kelson, so I get that as well.
Yeah.
Killer vinyl collection, by the way. Dr. Kelson.
I'm glad.
Banger after
he's
banger.
Still keeping those together.
Yeah, I was always wondering, like, what the fuck is he playing his music on? Like, that's the only thing I kept wondering.
He had it was a little all-in-one. It was a little turntable that had a little speaker built into it.
Okay, I missed that.
But the Radiohead needle drop was not expected, but also thoroughly appreciated.
Yeah, I feel like the 28 franchises have always had pretty good soundtracks overall. That main theme that they kind of use is pretty good.
How did we forget that as well? Like we do get the original score.
Yeah.
At the end with Cillian Murphy and the daughter, and he's like, okay, like, do you remember what we do? Right, and then she's like, she gets a bow, he gets a gun. They look at the binoculars, like, oh, it's two people, and she's like, do we help him? And he's like, of course we do. And then we get the score drop, and I was like, that's when I was sold. I was like, dude, I fucking
dude. I was thoroughly enjoying the whole movie. And it honestly probably brought my rating up from like a 9.2 to a 9.8 by the time that the ending, the last 5 minutes, I was just like, holy shit, Alex Garland. Like, I cannot believe what you just did.
Is Jimmy Crystal dead? Because I don't think it's necessarily he was crucified upside down and he got stabbed in the stomach, but we didn't see him die on screen. So he's could definitely not be dead.
You get the jump scare though. That I think.
Oh, that's right.
Probably Samson killing him. You would have to imagine. That's
no, I don't think it was Samson. I think it was a different infected.
Okay, I did forget about that. You're right. You're right.
So in theory, he could be brought back as a zombie.
Could be infected. Yeah.
And then maybe he gets healed, and then he is Jimmy Crystal once more.
Maybe. We're going to talk about this for a minute, guys. But to go back on that and how he's being crucified upside down, right? They even further layers that when he sees Samson, right? Because the doctor,
with the devil horns and everything,
in a moment of clarity with Samson, right, basically details, I'm like, hey, like, I need your help because I'm in a fucking terrible position. We don't see all that, but you understand that's what happens. Like, hey, I need you to come back. XYZ, XYZ, XYZ.
Yeah.
Jack O'Connell's character sees Samson and in his state of delusion while he's being upside down crucified, right? Sees Samson with the devil horns
and had the drugs blown in his face. He's had a cocktail already.
Yeah, he's high as fuck. yeah, for sure. He's high as fuck and tripping balls and on like his last leg, right? So he sees Samson as Satan. And he's like, why have you forsaken me? Right? I've done everything I can, whatever. He kind of goes on that spiel. Which is like, that's kind of damning and deep in its own regard too, because like that's how he's going out thinking that he's seeing his own
thinking
savior.
he was right.
Well, it mirrors
everything he did was justified.
What he said, what he says at the start of 28 years later too, when he sees his dad get yeeted by all of the infected as well too.
And he says that, Father, why have you forsaken me? Or something like that.
Yep.
Forsaken me, Father, why? Yeah. So yeah, there's so many layers, dude. So many things you can connect back.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, dude, I love this movie.
It's so funny that like Alex Garland has written so many of the things that I love so much, and then made fucking Warfare.
Just fuck off.
Such a
not a bad movie, dude. Not a bad movie.
Such a good training video for the fucking Navy SEALs or whatever it was.
Yeah. In regards to this though, before we get off topic, does anybody have any? There are some comedic bits in here.
That was funny though.
Anybody's got some favorite comedic bits in here? I absolutely know mine.
I think I said mine already. That cut to the barn door.
The cut of normal screaming,
so effing hard.
Yeah,
just the. I mean and again, it's the editing of it. It's like if that cut happened a beat later, I don't think it gets the same effect. But it is like the line. She finishes saying what she's saying, and it's an immediate cut, and it's so well done. And it's so well done. That got probably the hardest laugh out of me. But also second to that, runner up is Jimmy Inc. with the binoculars seeing Dr. Kelson dance with Samson. That was hilarious as well.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I think the whole bit with Jimmy Crystal, Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal, trying to decide if Kelson is or is not old Nick while everyone else watches on is just my comedic moment for the movie.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
For sure.
Blake,
yeah, no, that's funny as well, because that's when he pulls the joke. He's like, well, like that's something old Nick would say.
Yeah.
Not old Nick, right? They have that conversation. That's funny.
And just like the holding the binoculars up, which great too, by the way. Just a great thing that I don't think I've ever seen before. The binoculars, but using one because the thing's broken, so it's like a telescope. And now you're like,
it's vertical.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just not a thing I've really seen in an apocalypse movie before, but such a great little bit of like world building kind of thing. I definitely enjoyed that as well too. But what were you gonna say, Blake?
I love his line. He's like, of course I've seen temples like this before. He's got them all over the Highlands. Or something
He's like, this must be a new one, kind of thing.
Yeah, this must be a new one. Yeah.
I was gonna say that was my favorite line. He's like, "This must be a new one," or it's that, and then he gets on a sentence. I forgot what the exact dialogue is between him and one of the Jimmys, right? And he's like, "Oh, it's like he must have had it for 5 to 10 years." He's like, "Which of course isn't long in architectural terms." Right. And that was my favorite line. I was like, "That's fucking hilarious, dude."
So good.
Which again, like when you go back to like 28 years, which is like very much he's like presents Kelson first as that again kind of insane figure. And then you find out he's a much more tragic figure, and he's building these things because he is like he views himself as the lone man left to like witness humanity's end kind of thing. But then it's also like Spike, who at one point knocks stuff over. He's like, no, it's fine. Like, this isn't permanent either, too. He's that very interesting mix between those things of like, yes, I have created this insane structure, but it's not precious either too. It's going to fall.
Yeah.
It's going to fade away. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I love this movie so much, dude. It's
I'm glad, man.
Real gore.
I'm so glad.
Underlying themes. It's got comedy.
The 28 years franchise, man, like it is crazy at this point that this has been this consistent and this strong at now. Like, I don't know. I can't think of many other horror franchises. Well, like to kind of finish off what Adam was saying earlier about like kind of the political messaging. I think all zombie movies are in some way political. They have been since Dawn of the Dead, right? You know,
Night of the Living Dead. Or
Night of the Living Dead. You know, but to kind of tie that into there, it definitely means that like the people creatively at control of this franchise have something to say and are willing to actually say it. And that's pretty cool in today's culture.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. We got to get out of the review, rank it. We're long on time. I just want to say shout out to the emotional beats in this movie, especially Samson, that we didn't really touch on too much, but I thought was pretty powerful
and really drops
and like was very, very unexpected for me.
And really drops a lot of the emotional beats of the first one. Like there isn't very much like the family or the island is not shown at all. Aaron Taylor Johnson is not in this. Kind of Spike's previous story is really not referenced much at all either too. I feel like any of the 28 franchise, you can kind of pick any one of them and like just watch it, and like you're not necessarily going to feel like you're lost in some larger story necessarily.
Except for this one, maybe. I think this one requires.
Yeah, I think you would at least
greatly
benefit.
At least
want to watch I don't know. Would you rather watch one or three?
Yeah,
like days or years.
Yeah.
Probably
this one
both,
just requires you to watch one. Like you have to watch one.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Man, what a fun franchise.
Fellas.
Yeah, happy this thing exists.
Me too,
dude, for sure. Best horror franchise you got, man.
It's pretty special. Cool. Let's get on out of spoilers. Let's get it. At least our rankings. We're gonna have to wait for Tyler to get our official rankings here, but we can go ahead and welcome back listeners who skipped over spoilers. We're gonna go ahead and throw up 20 years later Bone Temple up upon our Entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the Entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of all the movies we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all on one fantastic list. It's essentially how we rate our movies rather than do out of 5 stars, out of 10, whatever it is. We throw up all the movies we review on a list and see how they compare to one another. And recently we put the list into tiers. So once they are ranked, you have a little bit better of an idea of where that movie quality lies. If you want to reference the Entropy list for yourself, you can do so by checking the episode description where it's linked to my Letterboxd. The tier list is linked down there as well.
And we don't have 28 years. We have 28 days and 28 weeks, right? Yeah. So 28 days here at 56. God, what a good poster.
S tier movie poster. I totally agree. With like the biohazard with the eyes.
Yeah.
And then the biohazard in the eyes.
Yep. And I'll even say that 28 weeks like does a nice spin on it too, with like the mask and then the double eyes, the one green, one brown.
Oh yeah, it's Imogen Poots.
Yep. 119. Yeah. Okay. So man, this is
Oof.
this is gonna be affecting.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah,
and I know we try not to influence each other's stuff, but I just like it's tough, man. We all like Days. There's no way this can be below Alien Romulus, guys. Like we can't do that.
no,
right?
I'm in the.
Trust me, I'm well clear of.
I was just saying,
we're on the same page.
I'm in the rarefied air up here, boys. Like I'm not necessarily. Yeah. I'm got altitude sickness. How high I'm climbing with this boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
But
I'm
that
a little
being
nervous
said,
that we might like look back on this one. I don't think we will.
I like this
but
a lot, dude. I don't care.
But I do really like this.
I mean, so here's the thing, though. Like, I'm willing to go to the mats for 28 years, and I know that's coming up as well too.
I know
that's gonna be my thing.
But you got to stop doing that, Nathaniel. Did that with Kill Bill, and look what happened.
So just so you guys know, S tier ends at 33. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings. Oof, A tier starts at T2.
Yeah.
And goes to The Notebook. Right? Am I looking at this correct?
Yeah. There's just so many movies I like more than Doom 2.
That may not be looking at this correct, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Whatever, dude.
A tier is T2 to Top Gun Maverick.
Okay. I mean, I still feel positive about that. All right. So, all right. So looking at the list here, there's some things that I can't put this above. I truly can't. But, but. How about I throw this guy? How crazy do I want to get? I think I'm going to put 20.
I may get crazy here.
I'm going to go 23. I'm going to put it below Blade Runner 2049. I'm going to put it above Oppenheimer.
Wow. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like, so I'll be honest, the bump I hit was Mad Max Fury Road, Jaws, and Inception. That was really where I was just like, fuck. Because, like, I think, arguably, I like this more than Dune 2. But we're not going to go there this point.
Maybe.
Like, there's some other ones that,
maybe,
like,
brother. Yeah.
I like this more?
You could talk me into that, brother.
Do I like this more than Jaws? I don't. So, like,
hey, man.
There's a buffer there, too.
Talk your shit. Like, if you want to put this at 1, go ahead.
No, I'm not there. I'm not quite there. So I'm gonna put this above Oppenheimer. We'll put it below Blade Runner 2049. But Blade Runner 2049 was probably the last one I would say where I came out of the theater being like, damn, that's gonna be a movie that I like is gonna be a personal fave for a while, and like that I will throw down for.
Go to bat for.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, I last year having 28 Years Later be my movie of the year, going into this one, which I don't even know if I like as much as that one, but just is like in that is just another heater 2 in a row. That just makes me so jazzed about that franchise, and so just happy that it's there. I'm carrying a little bit more into this one.
I mean, that just gave me a flashback to like. We started this podcast we had been doing this podcast when the news broke that another one of these movies was getting made, and I don't know if it might have been when we were still doing like news on the show and like reporting on new movie announcements and stuff like that. But I remember talking about it at some point and just like thinking back to those initial conversations, and that was obviously before I'd even seen any of those movies, but like. I'm sure for you guys, it's like, how could we have ever imagined these were the 2 films that we were going to get as an addition to this franchise? And like, I don't think any of us would have guessed that they would have been this good. And I'm just so happy that they are. Blake, do you have your spot?
I'm high, fellas.
Let's crank this shit up to 11, bro. Let's.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
This is one of the best horror movies I've seen in a very, very, very long time. It loops into the first film of this, which I enjoy dearly. It's movies I've been watching since I've been in like middle school watching horror movies, right? Expands on the lore. Jack O'Connell is excellent in this. Boy, Ralph is excellent in this. Rage has a mental aspect and a physical aspect. It can potentially be cured. There's comments on atheist and Satanism. Honestly, I have one hiccup, and I'll vote it first, and I'll tell you what my hiccup is. But I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going 4. And my hiccup is hereditary.
Hereditary. If is there
if this could somehow be a standalone film, I would probably put it.
So it's that kind of so.
Yeah.
If this movie just started with Spike, it's like hard cut. Hey, we're in a zombie apocalypse. But Spike has joined this group and he thinks they're great or whatever, or even just kind of what we get, would that be enough kind of thing? Do you think if they'd sealed it up and made it a standalone movie, is this taking that top spot? Is that possible?
I almost don't think it's possible for this to that would almost damn the movie further if it was a standalone. That's what kind of gives its legs to stand on, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
That
but
it builds
Hereditary,
on the third one that I did enjoy a lot.
Hereditary being that kind of one of one.
Yeah, it's just one of one. You can go in blind, watch the movie. You don't have to have any backstory.
Yeah,
it makes it difficult. So I'm kind of battling that, but I really like this, and I'm trying to let go of biasness of things have to be one-offs. So I'm gonna say 4. I'm probably gonna hate myself.
Dune Part 2 is a sequel, technically. I mean, that doesn't necessarily stand on its own.
How about your rewatchability? Do you think you're when this comes out, are you throwing this guy on there as well too, or are you?
I think I can rewatch it more than Hereditary, and I think that's why I've got it ranked higher.
Sure.
It's not as sorrowing as a watch because I can just lead it into I can just watch the first one and then watch this.
Sure.
Or I can watch this and then go watch whatever 28 years later Part 3 is. Right.
I'm with you.
Hereditary is you gotta.
It's a day ruiner.
It's what did I? Yeah. What did I watch this for? There's no world building. There's no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going 4, fellas.
Adam.
So 4 is below Django, above Pan's Labyrinth. I'm trying hard to make the jump to 4, or not to 4 necessarily, but to the top 10.
It's tough.
I'm really working that out. I'm really working that on my head, and it's tough, man.
Do you think if this had been, if this was selling out and people were like, you gotta go see Bone Temple, this is gonna be this made $1 billion? Do you think would that push that up higher?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I'd be lying if I said no. I do think that can play a subconscious effect on all of us. Truly, I don't think it would be just be one of us. I think that would definitely play a part.
I think the top 5 are pretty big movies overall, right? They're even top 10 probably. They were all pretty high earning as well.
For sure. But I mean, I'm looking at this list, man, and obviously our Entropy list is not one for one what I'm going to be ranking things, and I would completely reorder this list personally. So when I look at the top 10, it's man, that even when I put it, even if I were to say put it at 10, that is still over so many movies that I would have this below.
Yeah.
But as a whole on this list, I'm there's a lot of movies in this top 20 that I would put this above.
Yeah.
And just a few outside that I don't want to put it above. So I'm
Redline, we know,
man. Redline, hell fucking yeah. Redline's sick. The real one that's tripping me up is Midsommar.
Sure.
and Whiplash are obviously at 19
Whiplash.
21.
That's your baby up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Whiplash, like that would be at number 1 for me. You know what I mean? Like, so that's like not, it's just something I've got to, accept and move on with. But like as I look at, like, I know Mad Max for you, Nathaniel, is a red line, no pun intended, whatever.
Oh,
but,
Fury
like,
Road would be
I know that's a
probably
line.
number 1, number 2, number 3, or something like that if I had a.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
like,
Yeah, I agree. We all got them.
Fury Road is your line, but like this is probably better than Across the Spider-Verse. It's probably better than The Thing. It probably like an Alien. Like,
I hear you. I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
that would probably be
tough.
my one.
Yeah,
but we all got it.
It's tough, but we got The Dark Knight. Man, is it hard. You know what? Let's just have
let it fly,
let's
man.
just have some fun, man.
Say
Like,
it with your heart.
Love this movie. I'm gonna drop it at 6. Fuck it. Below Hereditary, above Halloween.
I'm so happy that we are this
man.
early into 2026 and this is happening. Like, we're
I
just
know,
like,
dude.
on
I
a movie that like
agree.
I don't think most of us had any like inkling was going to be
not
near
at
this
all.
kind of shit, but we were just like, you know what?
No.
I mean, I had high hopes.
Yeah,
but
I did too.
When I would talk to people about how 2026 is potentially going to be the greatest greatest year of movies of all time, because I mean, we've got Dune Part 3, of course, leading the charge, but then we also have the Odyssey and a Spielberg Alien movie, and I'm missing a big one. What else am I missing?
Avatar 4.
I fucking wish.
Shadow Drop.
Anyway,
I think that's the big one.
Yeah, I said there was Odyssey, but there's another one I'm not thinking of. Anyway,
Avengers,
for like 28 years.
Doomsday.
Avengers. Well, I'm not expecting that to be a top 10 movie.
Oh wow. Okay, surprise.
That
I wasn't being sarcastic. Like I thought.
I meant on her. I don't think it's gonna be a top 10 movie on our Entropy list. It'll probably be the best-selling movie of the year, unfortunately. But anyway, I don't think people were talking about 28 Years The Bone Temple being a movie that
Not even close.
Was gonna, be one that we talk about at the end of the year. But I think this is gonna be a movie that I'm talking about at the end of the year. Not everybody, obviously, because clearly not enough people have seen this movie. The box office numbers aren't great, but this will be one that I will probably be talking about this time next year, and probably one in like 5 years. I'll be like, man, I still can't believe no one's watched this movie. Or when it comes up in 10 years and everyone rediscovers it, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I've been sitting here the whole time.
When Tyler ranks this 100,
I think we'll all be that way.
When Tyler ranks this 150th, we're gonna have a real conversation.
Yeah, man.
He's either gonna take off our biasness glasses, right, and like be like, you know what, actually, guys, we kind of were tripping here.
He's gonna like point out something that's really obvious that we all missed, kind of thing. Like, hey, this guy, he's wearing glasses the whole movie.
I won't let him do it to me, man.
Or something.
I won't let him do it to me, man. It happens too often where I'm hyped up, and it's usually Ty or Nathaniel that are like,
it's usually Nathaniel. It's usually Nathaniel.
Nathaniel will bring us down to earth.
I mean, Ty has his moments too where I'm like, Ty, why can't you just be on board? So it's it's everybody. We're all guilty of it, but I'm hoping this is not the case, but I don't know. I think Ty will really enjoy this movie. I just don't think he's going to be top 10 or even maybe top 30. I think he's probably going to be I could see him being in like the 56 range, like somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
There.
I think he's going to have it around where the first one is.
Yeah, I would agree.
That would be my guess, which is fair.
But,
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Our current, if it was just the three of us.
Just the three of us.
We would have it at 11 flat, which would tie it with Alien. So there you have it. We'll see how far up and down that moves. But yeah, what a great movie. And we've been talking for a very long time, so we should probably
I agree.
we should probably be moving out of here. And we also have a long post-pod because I'm going to put a lot of that football talk in there. So I'm just going to get us out of here as swiftly as possible.
Go ahead, brother.
Next week's review, we're going back, ladies and gentlemen. The 28 franchise discussion is not over. We're going back to 28 years later. Of course, it's out of order, but things happen. And so hopefully you've either watched that last year and it's fresh enough, or you rewatched it for this viewing of Bone Temple and it's fresh enough, or you're going to do what I am going to do and rewatch it after watching Bone Temple, and then you can compare and analyze after seeing Bone Temple and see what you think. Whatever it is, join us for our review of 28 years later next week. We're planning, as long as nothing changes and schedules don't change, planning an in-person episode, and that would be rather exciting. So stay tuned. All show plugs and everything are in the episode description. Go check those out. I don't feel like elaborating on that. You guys know the drill there. Thank you all for listening, especially if you made it this far into the episode. It's going to be a long one, I can tell already. So if you're listening at this point in time, you're a real one. We appreciate you. And join us for our review of 28 years later next week. OBRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Oh no. To your question
Indiana.
before we got interrupted. Indiana, yeah. So in short, I don't know how knowledgeable you are, but yeah, in simplistic terms, honestly, the most impressive boarding feat I've seen in my lifetime. And that's not hyperbole.
So, like,
if you understand everything Indiana has been for the history of them,
I just saw
collegiate athletics.
an Instagram post that was like, it was like, Nick Saban, I'm leaving college sports because athletes are having to be paid now. And then it was like Kurt Signetti, me and my 3-star or my army of 3-star recruits I just turned into millionaires are here to like eat you or something like that. Okay, so this feels more like a story I can get behind if this dude just built a team of absolute lunatics that have somehow won the natty.
Yeah, college football playoff. Yeah, so I mean, in short, brother, I mean, you're right, dude. So Indiana, to put a little color on it, prior to, I think it was like week 8 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Indiana was 8-0, right? Last year, I believe they went 11-2 and lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay.
So up to week 8 this year, at the end of 8-0, when you now look at that, that's what, 29 and or whatever it is, 28-2 over span of the last 29 games, whatever the fuck it is. I don't have the math in front of me. They were the most losing team in college football history.
Oh,
right. So they just crossed they were that threshold in like week 9 of this year of no longer having the worst record of all time.
Got it. So like they in essence just peaked. Like if it was 500, they've just now gone above 500 after 2 seasons of pretty much going undefeated kind of thing. But it's not 500.
Correct. But it is not in fact 500.
It is in fact
the worst
record win percentage of all time kind of thing. I'm guessing a number 1 or a Division 1 C.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they've had
team.
Football. FBS is what you're looking for. Because they've had. I mean, Indiana's in the Big Ten. They've probably had football since fucking 1907.
Sure,
shit like that. You know what I mean?
But because
100 plus years,
because they have NIL fucking money from basketball, they've been able to now recruit really good players and have a coach that's kind of a lunatic or something. Or what's the story here?
Yeah, so I mean that plays a role. They got Kurt Signetti to be the head coach of Indiana. I want to say effective 2024 last year. Last football season.
Last year was his first year
there. Yeah, he went like 11-2.
Came from, I believe, JMU, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Came from
the year
James
prior
Madison.
had a crazy year.
I do remember that.
Like crazy good year, and then couldn't qualify. That wasn't the first year of the college football playoff.
Yeah, it was. I think that was the second year he was at James Madison at the FBS level. So they couldn't qualify for a bowl game because prior to that, they were at the FCS level, which Montana State,
right.
The boys you watch. James Madison was competing in that since, I don't know, we'll say like 2009 or something.
Right.
And he's been the coach there for a long time, and he won 2 championships there.
Got it.
So he is a proven winner, right? So he won championships at the FCS level. They then jumped to FBS.
He takes
at James
team,
Madison,
does
and they're
well.
still really good, but they can't compete for anything due to jumping divisions and transfer rules.
So he goes to Indiana,
and then he goes to Indiana, and now there's NIL where you are now able to bring along players and pay players, and people can transfer without penalties.
Right.
So I don't want to take away from his feat, which is wildly impressive. As I just said, the most impressive feat I've seen in sport and history. It is not possible without NIL.
Right.
Right. Like all things considered, it is not possible if he can't bring his guys with him.
It's much more similar to like a new owner coming to a team and then all of a sudden being able to buy a bunch of really good players and like turn the team around in a couple years rather than like you are converting the team over the course of 10 years from losers to winners kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. Now you're still doing that because you have to get
right. And it's not the same.
Right.
It's not a perfect metaphor, but it's not the. It ain't quite like the old days either on some of that.
Yeah, sure, right. Yeah, if I could put my boomer pants on, right? Like, it's not what they had to do in 1996 to turn around a football program or whatever.
To be fair, arguable like that had gotten to the point where you just couldn't, right? Like Alabama was just never gonna die, kind of thing, right?
It was impossible,
right?
Yeah. To your point, it was impossible. It never would have happened without NIL and being able to have players transfer and follow coaches. So in short, I mean, yeah, they don't have the same talent level and they have a bunch of 3 stars and things you were mentioning in that meme, but he's able to bring people from James Madison, who was a very good program that he created there. He's able to bring those guys along with him. Indiana has a decent NIL. It wasn't like Ohio State or Texas or Alabama or anything of that nature, but they're very good in men's basketball. It's a pretty good academic school, so they do have funds and endowment. So they could pay people, and then once you start winning or you bring it in the right coach, then people are like, hey, I'll give it a shot, right? That being said, though, I don't want to diminish that. It is without a doubt the most impressive feat I've seen in sports history because
then they went on to win, too. Yeah,
They went on to win and undefeated, and they were pretty much destroying almost everybody they played besides
they looked untouchable almost. Like I was surprised that game was that close. I did expect them to blow out Miami.
Me too, Adam, and I think that's the most powerful statement of it all is that I'm surprised the game was even fucking close. Yeah, I think everybody thought Indiana would go out there and beat them like 57-10 because that's how they've been beating pretty much everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wish this was a story because if this happened 10 years ago, we'd be talking about it today still because it was pre-NIL. And if you could turn around a dog shit program like that, you are Jesus Christ. Now, obviously that wouldn't happen because it never happened. And that's not how college football used to operate. So like part of me is like, yeah, this is incredible. And I do want to give props to that. But there's a small part of me that's like, yeah, but I mean, to how much do you just like, is this just money? And like Indiana just had a crap ton of money to put in. Like, I don't want to discredit anything that, Signetti did. Like, that's still hard to do even with the money.
Correct.
It's still a very difficult thing.
Right.
And I would agree. It is probably one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in college football, in sports in general. I mean, insane turnaround. But there is just a small part of me that's like stained that a little bit of like, it's also though somewhat pay to win almost at this point. And they just, and now I'm saying all of that without knowing the Indiana NIL budget, because it could just be in line with what other people are spending.
It probably is, to be fair.
It probably is.
It's not number one. I would be willing to bet it's not the NIL.
Right,
the
exactly.
Budget,
I haven't seen any headlines like Indiana is spending 3 times as much as the next closest school or something like that. So like, there's absolutely something to be said there of like,
well, and like
they're paying players, but like they're probably might not be as high as I'm thinking it is.
Even if they were, like the way that like how new the NIL like those rules are, like this whole system is, and like with how much the more like a football like how much more money a football program that wins the national championship is going to bring you. Like, even if they were spending 3 times the budget, that would probably be fucking worth it in the long run at this point. Like,
yeah,
like,
without a doubt.
Because now Indiana's going to be a destination school, right? Like, you've 100%. Created that thing like all around it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't know if it's been like this for you guys. Excuse me as I just took a bite of my food. But been seeing, last 2 years, especially this year and this season, I felt like week by week in college football, as the season progressed, I saw more and more Indiana people and more Indiana merch.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like, man, y'all get 1-2 good seasons, and all of a sudden you guys are the biggest football fans. When I know for a fact none of y'all went to the games when he went there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
How it goes.
It's absolutely, dude. It's the age-old tale of like the people. I mean, they've been so desperate for that school to be relevant in college football because they're really only good at men's basketball. I don't even think they're particularly good at women's basketball. Yeah. Like sometimes schools that's synonymous with men's and women's.
And maybe like track or something. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they were decent.
I have no idea what other sports they're good at. Yeah, I legitimately could not tell you. But yeah, the age-old thing, we have people have been dying for them to be relevant. So like now that they're finally relevant, and we're close to it in the Chicago market.
Oh, for sure.
IU probably has.
I mean, I can't tell you how much
thousands of alums.
Can't tell you how much more Bears merch I saw over the last 6 weeks than like
exactly than you have for sure in the last decade of your life.
Yeah.
It's just funny to see it happen for that.
Yeah, dude. So go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was just gonna say, even like this woman I work with who went to Indiana, like I was talking to her about the football stuff, and she was like, yeah, I mean, I never went to the games when I went there, but loved watching them now. I was like,
there wasn't any reason to. Like,
of course, you're right.
If my school was also like, hey man, we shelled out $3 million for these people, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna go show up and see what the fuck they did. Like, well, I'm a little bit interested,
Yeah. I don't know. I bring that up not to just say that there's necessarily anything wrong with it. It's just kind of funny to notice and funny to have happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think that's the reality of this. Like your
football team sucked, I wouldn't be going.
Yeah, I think that's the reality of like your casual, like I'm not interested in sports fan.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
It's like even the Bears. Like obviously, the Bears are the only team in Chicago, right? The NFL team, XYZ. It makes no sense. You get my point though. But to Nathaniel's point, is like, yeah, but like you were walking around the past month, I was seeing Bears gear every time I got out of the fucking car.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't like that 2 years ago when the Bears won 3 games.
Right.
So
same thing with the Cubs.
Yeah. Give me the
Same thing with the any sports team.
Give me the season autopsy on that. Where are you fellas feeling on your Bears fandom at this point? Are we on the upswing? Now, does this mean that next week, like from my casual observer point of view, now it like feels to me that the true Chicago Bears thing was be for next year to go win about 4 games, and like someone gets hurt in about the second week as well too. But how are you fellas feeling on this one?
Adam, you want to go first?
I'm still eating, so why don't you go first?
I'll kind of cut to the spiel. I mean, the Bears, in short, I don't think the Bears will go back to being the doormat franchise we've seen them be the past 10 years.
Okay.
I think their coach is too talented, and that's the most important thing in the NFL. It's like they have a coach who actually knows what he's doing. Now, injuries can happen. Caleb Williams can go out there and, against all luck, right, get injured. And, like, if your quarterback gets hurt, your season's fucked, no matter who you are. That being said, though, I do think the Bears will end up being, like, perennial competitive football teams.
Okay.
Being put on the field every Sunday for as long, I don't know, I'm going to at least say the next 3 to 4 years. Right? Now, do they luck up and win it all? A lot of things got to go right. You got to have health. You got to get the right people to play. People got to catch the ball at the biggest moments. You got to have the lucky tip go your way. All things that have happened this year for them to even get this far.
It's true.
Right? To be transparent. So it's like hard to bank on that shit again next year and the year after.
Probably not going to come from behind in fourth quarter most time in history, right? Not a winning formula for success in the long term.
100%. Yeah. So that ship has sailed for next year, right? They're going to have to just line up and like beat people in the first 3 quarters. That being said, though, I do think they'll be competitive for the foreseeable future. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. I think the expectation is like, all right, they should be competitive. We should at least be winning like 9 games a year, 8 to 9 games a year. Anything under that is like, this is a joke. Where did we go wrong? Adam?
I'm pretty much in line.
Yeah.
And I think most people should be feeling that way. Anyone who's like actually upset, which I don't think there's many people. I think everyone's been relatively level-headed about the fact that like this was never going to be our year, or never supposed to be our year. And that's what I told myself going into the playoffs in general, even against the Packers. I was like, I don't really care what they do in the playoffs. We weren't projected to be here at all. And this is probably the best Bears team I've seen. Maybe not most well-rounded, but I mean, most fun to watch, and obviously made it pretty far. So I don't know. I feel good overall. Obviously, watching that Rams game, hard not to be disappointed because it felt like we were right there to winning it, like very, very close. Driving that ball down, next score wins. You get a terrible punt. You have the ball on the 50-yard line, and all you really got to do is get an extra 20 to 25 yards, and you can kick a field goal and win it. And to throw an interception there is heartbreaking. So that does suck. But that and it also sucks because the other thing is, I don't know if I've ever seen a football play as miraculous and incredible as that
shit was
fourth quarter
insane.
throw. I mean, I genuinely fell to the floor. Like I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. I mean, that's probably the craziest play I've ever seen in football, period.
Like, I had at UFC 300 a couple years ago, I talked about, I'm pretty sure there was the fight between Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje, where Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje's ass for about 4.5 rounds, and then with 10 seconds left, points to the ground and like just says,
"Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hey,
I remember that clip.
Let's throw down," kind of thing, and then clocks him, and just knocks him flat out. And like that to this day is still the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen, just in terms of stake, risk, and everything like that. But it was a similar moment where you're just like, no way, there's no way that you should be able to do that, and then just to hawk that thing, felt like 60 yards. To a dude that just got open.
Absolutely.
It's just like you've seen that play a million times. Like the line got blown up immediately. He's backpedaling. He's got no options. Like, he didn't even have a chance to like run to the outside. Like he was gonna like, you just assumed sack or he's gonna throw it and it's gonna get picked, like whatever. And then you throw him, just chuck it up. You see him chuck it up, and it's just like,
oh yeah, it's going to no one.
Hail Mary is our only option. Hail Mary is our only option at that point. So like. Cool. And then the camera pans and you see it's just a one-on-one matchup and Cole Kmet gets the separate. I mean, it was just insane. I mean,
I agree.
And it sucks that moment is not going to be as remembered or well remembered. I think people will look back on that, but like if they had won the game, that's a legendary throw.
Yeah, I mean, like that one with Stephon Diggs and the Vikings a couple years ago.
Oh shit, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and they end up winning that game, so that's even more impactful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. But I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So that does sting, the fact that we lost and the fact that throw is kind of going to be diminished a little bit.
With a pick immediately afterwards.
Yeah, right. And I mean, you could talk about DJ Moore on that play all day long if you want. I think it seemed like to me more of a miscommunication than anything.
You're playing a -4 and you've been doing it for 2 hours at this point. And so many people got balls that hit off their hands in that game as well too. Like
so many drop balls. I mean, Rome Odunze went one. I mean, didn't even drop it really. He just missed it. In that first drive.
This is also
but Blake, I mean,
my layman talking there as well too, but like I do feel that like with any sports, it's always like people like to focus on the last 2 minutes, but there's so much that happens ahead of time.
So
like, it's a cliche, right?
Changed, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not gonna put any blame on DJ Moore, but I mean, Blake, this is a good question to ask you because everyone's talking about how he's not a huge effort on that play. He's kind of jogging, whatever. Am I incorrect in assuming like you're not sprinting at 100% speed your entire route on every play all the time? Like there are some times where you're changing up your pace, right? Like to me, it looked like he was kind of sprinting to start out with, and then as he went to curl, he kind of slowed down. Like I don't know. I just to me
like
to say like
80th
oh he wasn't
minute
trying the
as
whole
well
way.
too. Like
I
he could just be gassed, man. Like
right.
Yeah. I think I'll provide some context a little bit, at least to what I understand, right? So you guys know I'm a big football guy, so I'll even go and watch like film analysis of like different games and stuff after it. So nonetheless, though, I think you can go back multiple years, and that at times there have been like known effort issues from DJ Moore.
Sure.
To answer your question specifically of are you supposed to run 100% on every single route? I guess on paper, yes, but everybody who plays football and every coaching staff knows like that's not a feasible ask, right? So, and then I think the next level to that is that within different play calls, you're always supposed to run as hard as you can. You get it, but like you know, while the play is developing, you can kind of understand if you're going to get the ball right. If you're not necessarily open, you may tailor down your route or start jogging a little bit, which isn't good, but it does happen. So I think that's kind of what happened there. But I think, as with most things, when they go awry, and you guys know this from like playing sports and even just being like non-biased people, it's usually multiple things have to go wrong for something like that to happen. I would imagine, one, it probably is somewhat of a little bit effort issue on DJ Moore. Two, I would also imagine that I personally think that, that sometimes with plays, there's like nuances into the plays, right? Where like, okay, if you have a defender with this leverage here, like the routes aren't, you can't run the route how you draw it on paper.
Sure.
So if they say you're supposed to run up 10 yards and turn right, you're not going to run up in 10 yards and turn right if there's somebody standing right there. Right. You may run up 11 yards and turn right. You know what I mean? So like, I think that kind of happened as well. And they weren't on the same page with that. And then the last piece too, in my opinion, comes down to like play calling and quarterbacking, where it's like you have to understand your down and distance, where even that's just a massive risk, right? You're already 10 yards from the field goal range. Why are we even throwing the ball 30 yards down the field? Right. Like that's the next question.
That has not been talked about enough.
Yeah,
that is not. I mean, there's been people mentioning like, you just need to run the ball, and I don't know if you need to just only run the ball. I mean, you still do need 20-ish yards to feel comfortable.
You have to play risk-adverse football at that point.
Right. In that position, and like you have...
That was not risk-adverse. That was the most riskiest thing you could have done.
Absolutely.
There was a play, though, I want to say maybe in that last drive down the field earlier where like Caleb Williams just like turned on the Jets to like squeak past another 10 yards.
Yeah, he got a first down.
That boy's got some explosiveness when he needs to. Like, he is fast.
He does.
Yeah.
And the other last thing I think on that DJ Moore interception or the overtime interception, I think it's sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the other team. Like someone just made a great play.
Hell of a play,
and that safety made a hell of a fucking play. Hell of a read. He read he covered both both receivers well, like not overcommitting one way or the other, and gave himself an opportunity to go and make a play on that ball, and he got a good break and like had to dive to get it. Like
100%.
If he waits one more second, like he that's out of reach for him. So like he made a great play. So it's just a combination of a bunch of stuff that like just you don't want to have happen, but like it just all went wrong in the worst possible spot for the Bears. And
absolutely,
it sucks, man.
Fire the coaching staff, clean house, start it over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They'll learn from it. To your point, I think that's it. It was
trust the process.
It was a challenging play call, challenging effort on DJ Moore, wrong mistake from Caleb Williams. You just can't have all three of those things go wrong, right? You got to afford to have one of them go right for something to happen.
Yeah.
And then to your last point, like, that's actually, that reminds me of one of my favorite sayings I've heard in college when I was playing. And to your point where you're like, oh, like the other guy made a hell of a play. He's a professional. and I had a coach would be like, yeah, well, like the other guy's good too. Like he's on scholarship. Right? It's like the other guy's not fucking terrible. So like to your point, the other guy's good too. They're paying him fucking $9 million to be out there and cover somebody. He made a hell of a play.
He made a hell of a play.
And that's why he's on the Los Angeles Rams. That's why the Rams have won a Super Bowl fucking 3 years ago. That's why Sean McVay is one of the greatest coaches of all time, right? So it hurts, but ultimately, I mean, it was a year early, in my opinion. I don't think anyone anticipated the Bears to be super good this year.
Agreed.
No,
beating the Packers is more than enough.
It's feeling like the 2015 Cubs a little bit, where they're kind of young, much better than expected. Get to the playoffs, beat their division rival in the first round, and then subsequently lose the next round to a team that probably deserved to move on. So it's feeling very similar to that. So you know what? Hopefully the same formula kind of follows with 2026.
I agree, man. They'll be good, man.
The game did bring up one thing that I think I would like to see more of, which is each stadium should have more kind of environmental factors that
the snow was awesome. That added such a great effect to the game.
That like the home team gets to have. So like I'm thinking maybe if we're in Seattle, like it's just raining all the time, like you just have to play or something. Like I think maybe if we're Arizona, we have to play in the desert. Like we need to add some more like Pokemon, some more Pokemon gym style like effects.
I saw someone say, I think the line was like their Super Smash Bros stages.
Yeah, I want a little bit more effect here, like a little bit like you're not only coming into the opposing team's area, but like there's also something about it that it makes it more difficult for you. Like the Rams coming to Chicago and having to play outside in the cold. That's I like that element. I just want it for everyone.
Yeah. I agree. And it is. I do also agree with the fact that it's going to be disappointing seeing them move into a dome. It's going to happen. That ever happens.
It's inevitable.
Because I do like a good snow football game. Like it's fun to watch and it's more entertaining.
Yeah, man. It was cool. Totally agree with all that. And yeah, I think to end the conversation and segue into the podcast, to Nathaniel's point, I think the Bears will be competitive. I don't think we're going to expect 2 to 3 wins next year. I think you can kind of buckle up and say I think the Bears will be all right. And I think them beating the Packers did a lot for like the morale of that team and how they move forward.
Okay.
So
time will tell.
That it will.